Welcome back to Overtime. The Nasdaq closing at a record high after Donald Trump was named president-elect. Tech investors now digesting the longer-term impact for the sector. Joining us now is Alan Patricof. He is co-founder and chairperson of Primetime Partners. He is also a longtime Democratic donor. Alan, it's great to have you back on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I'm going to start right there. What does a second Trump administration mean for tech policy?
Well, from the standpoint of the venture capital industry, let's just mention that rather than tech policy. Venture capital does well in almost any administration because primarily it's equity financed. Interest rates are not a major factor because all these young companies that are startups and early stage companies are financed with equity capital. So whether President-elect Trump won or whether Vice President Harris won, venture capital goes on, financing goes on as it has before. What I'm concerned with today are really broader issues. I'm concerned that I hope President-elect Trump doesn't go through with a lot of the things that he said during the campaign, which were hopefully campaign shout-outs rather than what are really going to be policies that are going to be implemented. I mean, mass deportation, tariffs, tax cuts, all of those, I think, are not great for the.
I think we're having some technical. Okay. We just had a little bit of a technical glitch with a shot there, Alan, but I think we got most of it. I am curious about the tax piece of this because that's going to be front and center looking at 2025 because you do have tax policy that was enacted back in 2017 and some of that is poised to sunset. So it's sort of top of the agenda. Given what you just said about venture investing and given what it means for the startup landscape, would tech policy that is more favorable to business, though, actually be a good thing?
Well, questions, Lena Khan is a major target of what everybody's concerned with in terms of the tech world and her activism in the anti-competitive arena as well as the Justice Department. And I'm assuming that President-elect Trump, it's a long mouthful every time I have to say it, will be dealing with that. But I think that, it was mentioned before that technology growth of young companies is extremely important. And the more we have an anti-competitive atmosphere, it sucks up young companies earlier in their growth and therefore cuts off long-range growth of a lot of young, small venture-type companies. So I'm very much in favor of letting these companies nurture and controlling. And I'm not in favor of ending up with 4, 5, 10 behemoths that really acquire everything. I'm much more in favor of a growth on a broader base and let our technology market nourish. I mean, a perfect example is in the AI field. We've seen in the last year hundreds of companies started up. Obviously, many of them, or at least some of them, will fail, and others will grow, and hopefully will have the opportunity to become independent, large growth companies on their own, rather than becoming divisions of some of the major companies in the country that we're dealing with. But I think that we're in a very good time in the venture industry. And Primetime, which focuses on investing in anything that services, whether it's technology or products for the elderly generation over 60, they're very concerned with Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, maintaining financial stability. If we have a wild inflationary environment, that's not good. Retired people who have to live on a fixed amount of money. So the more, if we have irregular, big swings in the financial markets because of excessive spending causing more inflation, that's going to be a big concern for older people who have to live on a lot of money.